This was the scene just moments ago in Memphis, Tennessee. 5 former police officers accused in the killing of Tyre Nichols just made their first court appearance. Nichols was violently beaten by officers after a traffic stop in the city on January the 7th. Police body cam footage prompted public outcry and protests. The 29-year-old died in hospital just days after the beating. CBC's Chris Reyes is in New York and is following this story. So Chris, what happened in that court appearance?
Good morning, Natasha. And as you mentioned, right on time at 10 o'clock Eastern, those 5 former police officers walked in with their lawyers into that Memphis courtroom. The 5 that have been charged, keep in mind, have all been fired from their jobs and they've been out on bail. But essentially, this arraignment is their first public appearance. And the really big deal here, Natasha, is that this is the first time that those 5 former police officers charged with the brutal beating and death of Tyre Nichols. It's the first time that they're facing Tyre Nichols' family. Tyre Nichols' mom is in that courtroom. We heard from her as she was walking in. She said she's feeling numb. It was a very quick arraignment. They were read the charges that they're facing, each one facing 7 counts, including aggravated kidnapping and second-degree murder, which in Tennessee carries a maximum prison time of 60 years, Natasha. So after the officers were read the charges, they entered a plea of not guilty. And this really begins a very long process of getting this case to trial. The judge asked for patience. The next court date is May 1st, and we're now waiting for Tyre Nichols' family to speak outside of that courtroom to give us their reaction to seeing those 5 officers.
Well, the lawyers for the Nichols family is also calling for a 6th officer to be charged. What do you know about that?
That's right. That 6th officer is Preston Hemphill. He's also been fired. He was seen in that body cam footage putting a taser to Tyre Nichols' leg and then threatening to use it. However, he did not go to that second location, which we also see on video, where Tyre Nichols was beaten by other officers. The Tyre Nichols family has asked that Officer Hemphill also be charged. Have a listen to what the district attorney prosecuting the case had to say about that.
We have an ongoing investigation and an ongoing prosecution, but what I can say is we are looking at everybody who was involved directly or indirectly in the death of Tyre Nichols, and that includes Officer Hemphill. It includes people who showed up after the beating had concluded but were still on the scene.
Now, Natasha, this is really just the beginning of what is going to be a very complicated case. 3 employees of the Memphis Fire Department, for example, they've also been fired in connection to what happened on January 7th. So more charges could be coming. And also worth mentioning that the 5 officers charged in Tyre Nichols' death, they were part of that so-called Scorpion unit in charge of patrolling high crime areas in Memphis. And that unit has been permanently disbanded.
Yes, in New York. Thank you.
Thank you.